Southport Square residents. This is your Executive Director, Brian Hess, with another episode of Around the Square. So I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I ate way too much turkey and then, passed out on the couch afterwards from all that tryptophan, right? That's the stuff that's in the turkey that makes you tired. But it was a wonderful Thanksgiving. I got to spend some time with family and friends, and then got to go up and watch a wonderful college football game. What a blast it was. Mm-hmm. So I won't get into all the specifics of that because that'll get into all the politics of the fans and teams, but I'll just say the best team won. How's that sound? So, all right. Well, anyway, I'll start off with a quick COVID update. The Department of Health for the state of Florida is showing that Florida as a whole is showing an 8% positivity, and Charlotte County is at a 9.7% positivity. So we've seen this, now for the last several months. We've kind of just been up and down, kind of all in that same range, but we just can't seem to kick it. It's just kind of out there lingering. So it is what it is. I'll continue to report the numbers, and you all, take the safety precautions that you feel are appropriate based on your health and your specific situation or scenario. But I would encourage you just to remember that if you are feeling sick or not well, to stay home, call your doctor. There's a lot of respiratory, illness going around. There's the flu still going around, and then there's COVID. So you just never know what it is, but you don't want to give it to your friends, right? That's always the thing. There's some things you want to give them and be generous. There's other things you want to keep to yourself. So just a thought on that. The CDC also right now is showing Charlotte County as moderate or yellow. So we're still just kind of teetering in that middle range. It hasn't really gotten great, but we haven't really gotten bad again. So we're just kind of right in that range, and we'll see over the next few weeks how we go. It's going to be the holidays. I'm sure a lot of folks will be getting together. We might see a little bit of a spike after that again. Who knows? We'll see where we end up. But right now on our campus, we have one positive resident in our skilled nursing and no associates. So that's it. One positive resident across our campus. Yeah, excellent. So
not for the positive. I'm not
right.
clapping for the positivity.
Not good for the one positive, but great for the campus as a whole that there is only one positive. And we've also seen a lot less impact with COVID on our campus, which means that we are seeing some positivity pop up here and there, but most everybody's, rebounding right back without much impact to their health overall. So that's been really good for us as we've, kind of progressed. We don't always know what the reasoning for that is, maybe different strains that are out there or whether the vaccines are helping, probably a whole slew of things, and just our ability and knowing and understanding to identify and what to do if, we do get sick and how we can get better sooner. So anyway, that's your COVID update. Done with that. We'll move on to other things. So quick update on it's an update. A quick update on the work that's being done, the mitigation work here on our campus from Hurricane Ian. I know Hurricane Ian seems like a long time ago, back at the end of September. We're now, the beginning of December, so it's been a little bit of time. The Blue Team has been working, those first few months just working on the mitigation efforts. They've wrapped up most of the mitigation efforts. They have one other area on our campus, a common area space that they'll be working through just to mitigate the last of it, but otherwise all the other mitigation work has been completed. And now they're just awaiting some of the insurance review and sign off in the permitting to start on the reconstruction phase. Now, I can sit here and throw out any date I want to on reconstruction, and it could be right, it could be wrong, who knows. But I will tell you that nobody has the magical date yet, and we're working as quick as possible to understand and get a little bit better estimate of when we're going to get that approval and the permitting. So right now, the Blue Team, myself, our corporate partners, as well as the insurance carrier, we are having a call twice a week now to review and identify areas that the insurance carrier might have questions with or things that we have to maybe firm up a little bit. We're working hard to try to get that approval from the carrier and start the reconstruction. That reconstruction will probably start with the interior components of the buildings first. That's the pieces that we want to try to get back together in your apartments. So the drywalling, the ceilings, things like that. If you do have damage, those are some of the first areas we want to address as quick as possible. But at the same time, simultaneously, we'll be working through the roofing issues, the windows, the lanais, the carport soffits, all of that stuff's going to take place almost simultaneously. Because there are different divisions within the blue team. So as we work through that, we are still awaiting that insurance approval sign-off, as well as some permitting from the county. Kind of an interesting fact I'll just share with you, the blue team was able to find the original architect that worked on these buildings back 35 plus years ago. They still are working today. They're still a valid architectural firm, and they were the ones that they contracted with to write the permitting back to the county again, because they know our buildings, they know the county well, and they know most of the folks working in that permitting department. And the goal is that they can, hopefully get that permitting moving along a little bit better, because they're a trusted, reliable source, as opposed to going out and finding a new vendor that might not know our buildings very well. So I thought that was really great that they were able to pull that architect back in, and we're hopeful that that will give us a little bit of a leg up as we get through that permitting process with the county. So that's where we are right now. Again, I don't have a time frame specifically. I don't even want to try to guesstimate where we're going to be. So I wish I had something better, but I'm hopeful that we'll see it sooner rather than later, and I will try to keep you all updated on at least the steps in the process where we are. And then as we get a little bit further along and we think that we've got some dates, we'll start sharing that with you as well. As far as the landscaping goes, I am being told right now we gave the approval to try to get those royal palm trees back in the entrance of our community. And so I'm being told right now that we anticipate that those will be in sometime next week. So the week of, December 5th. So we anticipate that those will start to be put into the ground the week of December 5th. And hopefully we'll be wrapped up by the end of that week, and we can start to try to wrap some of those with some string lights to decorate for the holidays. So anyway.
But the royal palms aren't pre-lit?
Yeah, right? That would be wonderful.
We
should get
some
oh my
pre-lit
goodness.
royal palms.
Dawn, where were you when we were trying to get all of this stuff estimated out? I'm sure Walmart sells them, right? Or eBay, Amazon.
Absolutely.
I don't
I'm sure
know.
we can
somewhere,
find it on
right?
Amazon. A pre-lit
Sheesh.
royal.
Yeah, there you go. It might only be this tall, but that would be okay. So anyway, so not pre-lit, but we are going to try to make sure we get those lit in time for Christmas and the holidays.
Yay.
So then we'll be working with our Mainscape landscaping company to continue on with the rest of the plantings across the campus. So that'll include things like oak trees and smaller plants, a lot of the sable palms, which are those natural looking Florida palms, some of the other foxtail palms and sable palms across the campus. And then we'll also be working on some hedging in the back for that privacy, where we've taken out a lot of those natural Florida brush, if you will, that kind of created that buffer between us and the businesses behind Southport Square. And so we'll be working to recreate a hedge back there for a privacy fence. So all of that still will be working with Mainscape to get that done. That will still take a few months to get that fully in the works here. If you noticed, we had this big old tanker truck that was out front by the flagpoles that was pumping out our reflection ponds, also back by the bistro, the two ponds out front, and then also they worked on what is called jetting out our ditches and our culverts. So they worked on a lot of just flow across our campus to clean out some of those culverts that were filled up with debris from the storm. They also were removing stuff out of those reflection ponds that had debris that fell in there during the storm. So we pulled out a lot of metal soffits and things like that, as well as branches, limbs, and you name it, it was in there. And as well as, I don't know how they got in there, but live fish, even though those do not connect to any other ponds on our campus.
No kidding.
Incredible. Yeah, incredible. So there were actually fish in there. So either somebody thought it was going to be a great idea to throw a fish in there and watch it, multiply, or maybe I guess it would take two fish. It takes two to tango.
I would think there would be two fish. Or a bird lost his dinner.
Yes.
I've seen that happen.
And it could have been that it lost a dinner that was a pregnant fish dinner. And so then it just spawned a lot more.
Babies.
So it could very well be, or maybe two birds lost their dinner, and that created just enough to get it going. But there was probably about 10 or 12 fish, it seemed like, in there throughout as they pumped a lot of that out. So really interesting. I have no idea how many of those fish survived. If they didn't, I hope somebody had a good dinner. Let's put it that way. So anyway, so that being said, those ponds were pumped out. We are working on refilling those and getting those fountains back operational again. Those have not worked since the storm. We've got to get those back up, make sure the electricity and the pumps are working well. And so we'll be working on that over the next couple of weeks or so. The Gables East renovation started back again this past Monday. Yay! So finally got some of the workers back in there. If you've seen, for those of you up on the 5th floor of Gables East, and if you're not, if you've been up there at all, they have started some of the painting. So you'll start to see some of those walls getting that gray color on them. It's looking really good so far. They've done, some of the walls. They'll be going back with the trim in other areas. But really great to have them back working again. I'll be working on getting an updated schedule of where they're going to be, when they're going to be, what they're going to be working on. And we'll share that not only in our meeting this week, but in the upcoming weeks as well as we talk about that overall schedule. This past week, I had a visit from 2 key members of Leading Age Florida. So I'll tell you, Leading Age Florida is they're a regulatory and lobbying agency, if you will. They do a lot of lobbying for continuing care retirement communities, specifically in the state of Florida and across the nation. So they're a wonderful organization. It's kind of like a FLYCRA for you all as residents. We have Leading Age to lobby for CCRCs on regulatory things across the state. They are also a great resource. They provide a lot of education for our team members and staff. They also provide a lot of resources to us. And after the storm, they were very, very generous and donated $5,000 for our associates. So really great to see that. But we had a visit from Steve Bamer, who is the CEO and president of Leading Age Florida, and Nancy Hooks, who works in the Leading Age National Office. And they just talked about some of the fundraising that they've been doing on a national level for the hurricane relief efforts as well. So they came and visited our community here at Southport Square. They were heading down to the Fort Myers area where they said there was a lot more damage to some of those communities, specifically in Fort Myers, a lot of flooding. They said some associates at some of those communities came out after the storm had passed and their cars were not in the parking lot anymore. They were actually washed away. It was that severe and significant. So quite interesting to hear some of their stories of what they heard and saw over time. But one of the great things during Hurricane Ian, or specifically right after Hurricane Ian and the recovery efforts, Leading Age Florida was instrumental in making sure that we had FPL power getting back up and running here on our campus. So they were the ones that were really trying to coordinate getting them here on our campus, communicating with them of what we needed. And so that was really great to see that additional support and effort during our recovery efforts. So, and then the last thing I wanted to share, actually there'll be 2 more things, but one other thing, Charlotte Sun, the Best of Charlotte finalists and winners will be announced within the next week. And we are in the running for 2 different categories. One is the active aging retirement community. So we're being recognized as one of the Best of Charlotte's active aging retirement communities. So excellent award, very wonderful. We are in the running. We are either a finalist or a winner. And what I have heard is that, and I will speculate, I believe we're going to be a winner.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
We're already winners, Brian.
Anyway, yes. So Best Active Aging Retirement Community in Charlotte County. And then we also were recognized as Best of Charlotte for our assisted living as well. Wow. So really great to see that active aging retirement community and assisted living, 2 different categories in which we are recognized. And we'll be going to an awards dinner in the next, I think it's week and a half or so, and we'll get to see what we ranked and if we took the winner in both of those categories, which I feel very confidently we did. So last thing, I just wanted to invite you all to our December 6th tree lighting ceremony. So hopefully you can join us. I know the Community Life Services team, Smita and her whole crew, been working very hard getting it all together. I see them every day. By the end of the day, they are like covered in glitter from head to toe. It is like the most hilarious
Yesterday was
thing.
a glitter bomb.
It was a glitter bomb for sure.
Yeah,
so
it really was.
It is great to see, but they are working so hard to get this community looking and feeling in the holiday spirit and representative of that Christmas spirit, and really hopeful that you can join us on December 6th for that tree lighting ceremony. It's going to be a wonderful program for you all, so hope you can be there. And I hope you enjoy this episode of Around the Square.
Yes. Oh, and I also would like to acknowledge a big kudos to our maintenance team, because just look at the lights that they're stringing out here. They're stringing lights all the way through the village, and so I walked by and Joe was whistling some tunes.
There you go.
Some Christmas music while he was putting it up.
All
so,
right, yep.
yeah,
It's a great
kudos
thing.
to them.
Yeah, wonderful lights. So thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Dawn with Around the Square, and today I'm with Patrick Brown, the Director of Plant Operations. Well, hello Patrick.
Hello, I'm so happy to see you in my office.
Yeah, it's nice in here. Love what you've done with the place. Your flamingo collection is adorable.
Don't tell anybody, please.
Your secret is safe with me.
Thank you. How about the camera?
So Patrick, what do you do around here?
A lot of residents have stopped me and asked me. And instead of telling you, because I have a very long list of what I'm responsible for, I figured Dawn and I could go on a field trip.
Yay!
All right, here we go.
Field trip, yes, let's go.
This. And these. These. And these as well. This. The building, not the food. Building, not the money. And this. And this. That too. And that. This too. This too. And this. These two. And these. Hope you enjoyed our tour today. Dawn, thank you very much for your time and patience filming me at odd locations.
I especially like following you in the dumpster.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for not inviting me in there.
I tried, but she said no.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey! Hey, who's winning? Which side's winning? That side? All right. All right, so we got what about volleyball going on? Wow, look at that, guys. Good job. Oh, all right, point over here. Good job, everyone. So this is every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. 1:30 every Tuesday. Come on down. Nobody wins and nobody loses. Ah, good job. Yeah, woohoo! Good job. Team left. Oh. Woo! Welcome.
Welcome home. Well, thanks. It's good to be home. quickly, good morning.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. Today I'm here with Jeff Holbein, our beloved maintenance man here in West. Jeff, you're coming across an issue with the trash rooms. Well, it's going on in both Gables.
Yes, couple of issues that we're having in Gables West and Gables East is with the recycle and the trash and separating and what goes in, what doesn't go in, breaking down boxes, what boxes go into recycle, which ones don't, which ones should be broke down and brought downstairs into the gondolas. And we are having another issue with garbage being thrown into the recycle bins, which is creating quite an issue with maggots and smell and things of that.
Yeah, all the undesirable things.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so people are disposing things in the recycle bins that should not be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So even if it's food and you can technically recycle food, you know, it's what is that
It'll
called?
decompose, rot.
Yeah, it'll decompose, but it's not meant for the recycle bin at all.
Right. Yeah. So any food items, any items that have any food in them at all, either rinse them out and then put them in the recycle, or put them in your trash and throw them down the trash chute or in the gondolas downstairs on the first floor.
Gotcha. Now a lot of people question if the styrofoam, is
Yes.
that what you're finding in the recycle bins? Because the styrofoam is not recyclable.
It is not recyclable, and it's really confusing because on the styrofoam containers, they have the little recycle symbol on them, but they're not recyclable. So I don't know why that symbol is on them even, but styrofoam items do not go in the recycle either.
Okay.
They also, all styrofoam items go in the trash. Any boxes that are shoebox or smaller, we would like you to break them down, put them in the recycle.
You mean shoebox are larger?
Shoebox or smaller.
Oh, smaller.
Into
Even
the
smaller.
into the recycle, yep.
Oh, okay.
Because what we're finding is with all the move-ins that we're getting, we get the bigger boxes, and God bless you for breaking them down, but they can't go in the recycle because they'll fill them bins up really quick. So we ask that you take those and bring them, like, you put them in a gondola down to the first floor in a gondola, one of the trash bins, regular trash bins. If you can't do that for whatever reason, simply put in a work order, and Lou at East or myself over here at West will help you out with it.
Okay. Do you want to show us a little bit of what you're talking about in the trash room here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's tour the garbage room.
Come on in. This is the 5th floor of Gables West.
I love these automatic doors.
They're very
I really do. I love
Very
them.
nice. So obviously these are the recycle bins, and we do ask that you fill one at a time. We usually have the lid open, just fill one at a time. Here's the items really to include, and if our recycle rooms do not have this list, then we're going to find it, buy it, and get them in there, because they should all have this in. And so this is really a list of what should or should not go into a recycling bin.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Anything other than that, again, goes down the trash chute. If it doesn't fit down the trash chute, bring it at West, bring it down to the first floor service area. In the gondolas over at East, they have a gondola in the service area over there as well that can go in. Electronics as well would go downstairs on the first floor in the gondola area, and we will dispose of them correctly. We do have a company that comes out and takes care of all electronics and gets rid of them for us correctly. Again, if you can't physically do it for whatever reason, certainly talk to either Lou or I, and we can help you out with that.
So if someone's throwing out a television,
Yes.
what is the proper disposal method?
Well, TVs, let's face it, they're tough for some to move around and to get rid of. So what the proper thing to do in that case, if you're going to get rid of a TV and you don't have a family member that can do it for you, put in a work order, and to have either Lou at Gables East or myself at Gables West, and we will come up and get them, and we will dispose of them for you.
Okay, just don't throw it in the trash room.
Yeah, just don't throw it in the trash room, because we try to keep these trash rooms cleaned up and keep them neat and not stinking and things like that. So
Right.
any help that you all can give us is fantastic.
All right, wonderful. So we appreciate everyone recycling, but it needs to be recycled properly.
Yes.
No, there are signs in the trash rooms, and if there aren't, we're gonna make sure that they get them. But there are what you can and cannot put in these bins. And please don't put full boxes in these bins, because it just ties it up. And these are emptied every day except for Sunday, aren't they?
They're emptied every day.
Oh, including Sunday.
We check them every day of the week. Yes.
Okay, so, and that makes sense because there's so many people that would utilize it.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm wondering if they don't realize that this chute is here. You know, it looks like somebody made a giant sign. But I'm wondering, have you ever found like kitchen garbage in that bin?
Yes.
In a bag?
Yes,
Okay.
usually we have a couple of cans a week. Whether they come from east or west, we really don't know. It's hard to keep track of them that way. When they go to dump the recycle, they dump our recycles every Thursday, Waste Management does. And if they find containers with garbage in them, they set them aside, and then Lou or I have to take care of it, and we have to dump that.
And that's been sitting in there for over a week, and
Yeah, out in the heat and
yucky.
the rain and the humidity and everything, so they get pretty gross. Like I said, usually it's a couple of weeks, so it's not real bad, but boxes are kind of an issue, more so, but yeah, we just ask that you just pay attention and be diligent and put your garbage and your refuse in the trash chute and your recyclables in the recycle cans.
all right, well, thank you, Jeff. I hope everyone is hearing Jeff to make his job a little bit easier.
We appreciate it.
And we appreciate you very, very much, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm from Around the Square. Today I'm with Kieran, our special reporter. Now, Kieran, you just went somewhere. Where did you go?
I went to see this renovations on 5th floor, 4th floor, 3rd floor, and 2nd floor, and this.
So you went to Gables East.
Yes.
And you checked on the progress of the renovation.
Yeah.
And what did you discover?
They're doing the 5th floor G wing and the 2nd floor L wing right now.
Okay, so they're on G wing on 5.
Yeah.
And L wing on 4. What are they doing?
No, 2nd floor.
Oh, 2nd floor. What are they doing?
They're doing the renovations.
Yeah, but on 2nd floor, are they removing wallpaper?
No, they already done that.
Oh, okay. What are they doing?
I don't know. They're doing something else.
Well, I thank you for your investigation and your perfect journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Kieran signing off.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Around the Square. And in the spirit of this episode of Around the Square, and this, and this, this too.
Patrick, he had me out all over the campus pointing at things. It was hysterical.
And this. I can just keep going on and on. And this, I'm going to try to get more things than Pat had. I don't have my pen on me. I could pull up my pen and this.
That was great.
But, oh man, wonderful. And I really enjoyed seeing some of the things that Pat works on. And it's incredible when you start peeling back the layers of that onion, how big and massive this campus is and all the little pieces that if one bolt falls out of a screw hole somewhere, it can be big trouble for a lot of people here.
Mm-hmm.
And so they work very hard to make sure that things are working and functioning great. And it was great to see some of those areas that they maintain on a day-to-day basis. So thank you. But all right, Dawn, what do you got for me?
Well, I won't be jumping in a dumpster like Patrick.
Well, it looked kind of fun.
It was funny. I have, here we are, December, beginning of December.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not going to kill you with the Christmas jokes yet.
All right.
But what falls in the winter but never gets hurt?
Leaves. Is that right?
No,
I don't know.
It's snow.
Oh, okay.
It's snow.
Yes, this is true. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I guess it would be right if it was the fall.
If it was
Leaves fall in the fall and
Uh-huh.
they don't get hurt. But wrong season.
wrong season.
Yeah,
Yes,
geez.
wrong season.
Well, we do live in Florida, so we don't get a lot of snow here.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of that, what's
Okay.
white and goes up?
I have no idea.
A confused snowflake.
Oh,
Ha-ha!
this is good. Yeah. Go with the flow of traffic,
Yes.
buddy, right? Well, listen, have a wonderful week. Great to see you all. Or you seeing me. All right, goodbye.